Somebody had to say it, so I'm just gonna go ahead and do it. Anime is way better than regular TV shows and movies, and there's a reason for it. So you're probably thinking, hold up, why is there a grown ass man telling me to watch a cartoon? Drop the ego for like 1 minute, please. An animation, a drawn out cartoon, if you will, on a screen can sell you better emotion than a real life human being, and there's a reason for it. Anime can express a feeling that regular humans can't express because otherwise it would be awkward. It would be awkward for a human to scream at the top of their lungs about something that they're so passionate about because no one does that. That's just weird. But if an animated character did it, it wouldn't be weird. And the reason for this is that an animated character can express emotions that we bottle up and we don't really express outside as a human being because it's awkward, it's weird, and we've been taught to not do these things since we were a little kid. An animation can express the imagination and emotion that we haven't ever gone to before. If you've watched Attack on Titan and you've seen the main character scream at the top of his lungs about something that he is so passionate for and he wants to achieve with all of his heart, and you've seen this guy scream, imagine putting a human in that place. It would just be awkward. There would be no emotional drive. There would be no inspiration. It would just be funny. It would be a comedy show. But if you put it into an animated character, it somehow has deeper meaning. This is a feeling that a lot of shows really can't express to you. A lot of human beings, a lot of paid actors can't really express to you. When they sell you emotion, it's something that you've never seen a human being express before. Otherwise, it would just be weird. I don't know how to fully explain it, but when you watch anime, listen, sometimes I cry, but look, we're not going to talk about that. I had this friend back in high school, and he had these weight problems that he's always been trying to lose weight for many years, but he just couldn't ever seem to get it off. He started to watch Naruto for the first time ever, and he came back after that summer break, 25 pounds lighter. He shocked everybody. Everybody was stunned that he walked back inside of that school so much skinnier. He was so healthy, fit, and slim, and I asked him, yo, how did you do it? I know you've been trying to work on this for a long time. How did you finally lose all that weight? And he goes, bro, I just started watching Naruto. And I thought he was joking at first, but he actually wasn't. There was something about the emotion and the mental drive that that show gave him. He said that it inspired him so much to train harder and work harder than he's ever done before that he came back to school that year 20 pounds slimmer. Character development is a big part of anime. Since there are no human beings just playing the role or playing the part, now there's an animation, and that animation stays the same throughout the entire movie, and it doesn't ever repeat. So that animated character will never star in another movie. Like we see many of these famous Hollywood movie stars in so many different movies, it kind of breaks immersion. If you've seen a certain actor in 5 different movies, how do you believe that they're really playing a part in this certain one? With common sense, you can infer that they're just doing this just to get paid, or they're just playing the role, or they're just doing their part. But with an animation, that's really who they are. The character doesn't exist in the real world. The character doesn't exist anywhere besides that certain show or movie. And that's why you can feel so connected to an animation, even though it's literally just a drawing technically. You feel like you're really connected to that person because that person only exists in that certain show. Now, when you think of animation or anime, you're probably thinking of the regular American cartoons like Family Guy or American Dad. It's nothing like that at all. These shows are usually made for comedic purposes and satire, but anime shows you the deeper meaning behind life, and it teaches you a lot of valuable lessons. It also drives your emotion, like I talked about earlier, which any of these American cartoons could never do. Since there is no CGI in animation and we aren't importing fake make-believe characters into a real-life world, there's no disconnect between both realities. In animation, it's all fake, so that somehow makes it feel all real. If I was to be standing next to Hulk, for an example, it would obviously be fake because this person doesn't exist in our real world. But if you were to draw out me and Hulk in the same room, it would make a little bit more sense because we are both in the same animated world. Anime is usually a lot shorter than regular TV shows. The reason for this is because animation costs a lot of money, and spending money to do anything besides building the character development or moving forward with the plot would just be a waste of money. And in real life shows, that may not be the case, since it's usually a 1-hour episode for each show. They can spend that hour however they want. But in animation, it's 20 to 30 minutes, so they got a crunch time and they have to deliver the best plot to you within that certain amount of time. A lot of shows drag on for many seasons, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 seasons, and that can be a huge time investment. However, with most shows that I watch, like Death Note, Erased, or Attack on Titan, there's usually 1, 2, or 3 seasons at most, and every episode is 20 to 30 minutes, so it's substantially shorter than a regular TV show. One of my favorite parts of my favorite show, which is Death Note, is that time can be slowed down without breaking immersion. Time technically doesn't exist. So when you see L and Kira trying to outplay each other and outsmart each other in every move that they make while thinking in each other's brains, things don't get awkward. When Kira is trying to understand what L is thinking before he does, one of my favorite scenes is when Kira writes down the detective's wife's name, and when she asks why he keeps on checking his watch, all time pauses and time moves really slow. However, the snow keeps on falling at a regular rate.
Because I'm Kira.
If you try to recreate this scene inside of a real life movie set, it would be almost impossible. The watch starts to slow down, both characters don't say a word, and snow is falling at the same exact rate. You know what that's called in real life? Being awkward. And I'm really good at it. All of these points may sound insignificant or irrelevant, but when you put them all together, it really puts for making a really interesting plot, and it really does play on your emotions to make you a stronger and smarter person. Now, if you can just drop your ego for 25 minutes and watch the first episode of Death Note, you'll thank me later. After you finish the first episode of Death Note, come back to this video and leave a comment and tell me exactly what you thought of your first anime ever. Thanks for watching this video. Stay dreaming, stay lucid. I'm out. Peace.